If you've decided that you want to create content online, my friends, you need to have a podcast. In today's episode of Lifestyle Savant, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you need to have a podcast. Let's get into it. The first reason why you need to have a podcast is because it further enhances your digital personal brand and your skill set. Let me explain. When you're creating a podcast, you're going to be consistently talking about a specific topic, hopefully. It's very important that you are staying tuned to a specific niche, whether that's parenting or business development or even cooking. Whatever it is, it's really important. Not only are you going to become more knowledgeable about your passion, but you're also going to let everyone else out there know that my name is Mark Savant. I'm very passionate about fatherhood. Here's my podcast. It's an incredibly powerful way of developing your skill set and establishing your personal brand. The second reason why you need to have a podcast is because it's so scalable. What's amazing about podcasting is you can have the conversation once, and in perpetuity, you are reaching people. I had the opportunity on the Awesome Dad Show to interview NFL quarterback Trent Dilfer, and he shared a very heartbreaking story about losing his son at an early age. It was extremely powerful. This was months ago, about 6 months ago. Just this past weekend, I had someone reach out to me and say, Mark, I heard your interview with Trent Dilfer. It really spoke to me because I'm going through a very, very difficult time in grieving. And that interview that you did makes a difference. Listen, I didn't have to have a conversation with this young man. I didn't have to call him on the phone. I didn't have to text back and forth with him. He went and he listened to a conversation I had with someone 6 months ago that was recorded. And now I was able to provide him with a benefit and provide him with information that's going to help him achieve a better life. So listen, by creating your podcast, you're going to be able to reach people in perpetuity. There are going to be people, when you start today, people are going to reach out to you years from now based on the topic that you're an expert in, that you are skillful in, that you're passionate about. And they're going to see you as an expert in that field. It's incredibly important. So make sure that you start your podcast today so that you can reach people on a scalable level with your message. The third reason why you need to start a podcast today is because it establishes you as an expert. In the past, the best way to establish yourself as an expert was authorship, writing books. But guess what? Less and less people are reading books. There's tons of people, millions of people that are listening to books on tape, listening to Audible, and the same thing is happening with podcasts. If you have a popular podcast that's consistently producing content, you've established yourself as an expert in that field, especially if it's an interview podcast and you're bringing in people that are experts in that field. Start a podcast to establish yourself and your personal brand as an expert in the field of your choice. The fourth reason why you need to start a podcast is because you become the host of the party. Let me explain. Gary Vee is an extremely popular online personality and online entrepreneur. And I'm going to regurgitate what he explains. In high school, the most popular kids were the kids that were the host of the party. They had the luxury or the fortune that their parents were going to be out of town every week and they hosted a party. The popularity of that kid grew exponentially because everybody wanted to know him and be at his or her party. The same thing happens with podcasting. If you run a local business or a personal brand or are developing some sort of social message, by interviewing people and creating that demand to be on your show, you become the host of the party and your popularity exponentially grows. The fourth reason why you need to have a podcast is because the connections that you're making are going to exponentially increase your popularity, especially if you're a local business. You're running a local restaurant, start interviewing local businesses and explaining their stories. All of a sudden, your coffee shop goes from being a no-name to being the force of the town. Because now the mayor, the commissioner, the local car dealer, they all want to be on your podcast and they want to visit your coffee shop to be on the podcast. Listen, start a podcast so that you can become the host of the party. The fifth reason why you need to have a podcast is because it develops a network of relationships. Relationships. I cannot stress how important relationships are in this day and age. I started the Awesome Dad Show a little over a year ago in 2018. And now I know people in Washington, D.C., in California, in New York, in Texas, in Arkansas, in Tennessee, in England, in Australia. I know people all over the world now that I can message and be like, yo, I'm going to be in town. What's up? It's amazing the relationships you can make. And what's also amazing when you start thinking about networking and people is everybody knows everybody. So you can level up the people that you meet. So for example, one day you might interview a high school basketball player, then it's a college basketball player, then it's a coach, then it's an NBA player, then it's an NBA All-Star, then it's a Hall of Famer. You understand? As you keep leveling up your relationships, you meet more and more and more people, and your network grows. And it works exponentially. It's very slow to start, but as that snowball starts ramping up, it grows larger and larger and larger. Start ramping up your network today by leveraging the power of podcasts. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave a comment below. Do you have a podcast? Leave a link. I'd love to know about it. How important has it been to you that your podcast has reached people? How has your podcast magnified your message and help you achieve your goals? Leave a comment below. I look forward to reading from you. I'll catch you next time here on Lifestyle Savant. Peace.